Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela Belen and I am a professional tarot card reader, a Reiki practitioner, and a holistic life coach. And I've decided to create these videos, these pick a card videos, as well as other stuff that's coming in this new year. You'll start seeing a little more variety in what I offer, but just kind of sharing the love a little bit. So as you know, today our reading is New Year, New Love, right? So I also want to kind of clarify that this isn't only for people looking for new love. Maybe you're in a relationship and maybe the loving vibes are not what they used to be and you kind of want to renew that energy. So I have made this reading in a way where obviously it's pretty general, but it can be used by people in relationships as well, hoping to kind of renew those vibes in their relationship. So this reading really is for everyone, single or in relationship currently. So, all right, all that said, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna assume most of you know how this works, but if there's someone new to this, we were all new at some point, right? So I'm just gonna kind of go over this just very quickly. We have 3 piles here of cards. So we have pile 1 with the green stone. We have pile 2 with the yellow stone. It's a very light yellow, but it is yellow. And then number 3 with a blue stone. And I'm gonna have you just kind of take a look at them and really focus, just kind of like take your time, take a deep breath, maybe close your eyes, and when you open your eyes, your gaze is probably going to land on one of these piles. That's your pile. So it's going to be 1, 2, or 3, and I'm going to read each one individually. Also, please keep in mind that these are general readings, right? So if something doesn't resonate for you, maybe it was meant for somebody else in your group. So just make a little space for that. But if nothing is resonating for you in the reading, then I ask you to please go back and pick a new pile and start over and give it another chance. So, all right, we're going to get started. But before we do, I do want to remind you that this is a new channel. So I'm getting such great support and such great, just kind of like people cheering me on and really being supportive. And I really love all of you for that. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to ask that you please, if you do enjoy this video or you do enjoy this experience, that you please subscribe to my channel. It keeps me going. It also lets YouTube know that you like what you see and you want some more, so I can make some more videos and reach more people and help more people, which ultimately that's what this is all about. So please like, comment, subscribe. And I'm even on Instagram if you wanna kind of chat there. I do a weekly card reading as well, and just random postings every once in a while just to kind of keep it fun. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and pick a pile. So do it your way or the way that I suggested. And when you decide which one is your pile, I will meet you there and give you your reading. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right, hello group 1. This should be the group with the green stone, also known as group 1. So if that's the stone you chose, or this is the pile of cards that you've chosen, you are in the right place. So welcome. We're gonna go ahead and take a look. And as I mentioned earlier, this is not only for people without a relationship, but for people in complicated relationships or layered relationships, or, relationships that could use a little bit of oomph injected back into their lives. So this reading really is for everybody. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at what the cards have to say to you about your relationship. So we're going to start with your mindset currently about relationships. And here we are looking at the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is a beautiful card where you've kind of maybe been thinking about dating, or you've been kind of thinking that there are certain things that need to change in your relationship in order for you to feel satisfied and happy and passionate again. And you're ready to act. So I feel like you've been probably thinking about this for a little while, and you haven't really, well, we haven't been able to take the plunge just worldwide because of our circumstances. But, now things are starting to change a little bit, and people are also starting to get kind of used to doing things virtually or over the phone, or different ways. We've learned to kind of adapt to our surroundings. So you've been thinking about this for a while, whatever it is, whether it's changing something or starting something, finding something new. And now you're starting to kind of come out of the thinking and planning, and now you're thinking, and now you're ready to act. So we're going from thoughts and, planning and really kind of thinking things through. And one day, I'm going to do this. Well, now you're starting to feel like, okay, maybe next month I'll do X, whatever that ends up being, right? So you're ready to begin acting at the moment, which is awesome because that's the only way to make things happen, right? So, all right, we start with that, and then we're going to take a look at what either is now. So this card here can be looked at as either a lessons card, something you've learned in the situation that you're in, whether it's being single or being in some partnership that's not completely satisfying at the moment. Or it can also be looked at as what has helped you at this time, where you stand right now. What has been helping? What has been working for you in regards to relationships? And what I see here is that we have what is this? This is the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is all about a happy home. So it can be a literal home, or it could just be kind of like someone you come home to, right? So in the sense of, you have your best friend, and even if you're not in relationship at the moment, in a romantic relationship at the moment, having this person's love means just as much to you, and it's just as satisfying for the moment. So I think what's been helping people in the first group is that regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not, or your perfect relationship or not, romantic relationship, you are feeling loved. And you are feeling like you have a place to be, and you have people to come home to. Maybe not literally, but you can call up a friend if you need some support. If you're going through a tough day, there is people that you can count on or kind of lean on a little bit, even if it's not, a romantic partner. So that's what's working for you in your favor, which is a great thing to have. So it's not like you're completely isolated and you're totally alone in the world and you have no partner, or your partner currently is behaving in a way that may not be quite as comforting as it used to be in the past, right? That's not the case. With this group, you guys have love in your life for sure. And you have like your home, that could be literal, or just a way of describing a state of being with a person. You do have a home, and it's a happy home. As you can see, these two young ladies here are enjoying themselves and having fun, and they're being silly and free, and everything's just fine. They're perfectly happy. And we don't know. I don't know in this tarot card reading if these two ladies are in partnership, or if they're single, if they're sisters, if they're family. There's no way to really know. My guess would be family, just because this card really is about home and family, but maybe not. Who knows? So what you do have working for you, though, in this group here is that you are feeling loved, right? So there is a place where you can go, whether it's in your mind, or whether it's like on a phone, or whether it's literal, like literally walking into a home and your family is there, and you've got love and support. So you're not alone, and that's a great place to be. So, all right, so that would be what is good for you in your life, or what's going well for you in regards to relationships, is the fact that you do have relationship and support and everything. So now maybe the challenge now, what we're looking at right now, is when it comes to a romantic relationship, because that is going to be more of the focus that I'm going to be talking about in this reading. I see that you feel like you've been doing a lot of work. So I don't know if this is inner work. This could be, you kind of tackling your negative relationship patterns, or, behavior that, drives people away or makes things difficult, or whatever it might be. Feels like you've been kind of doing some work on that. You've been really looking at it and really working on creating something different so that you can have a different experience in relationship. But now the bad thing is, or not necessarily the bad thing, but the thing that kind of makes you feel a little negative at the moment about it is that there is growth, but you see how he's kind of hanging around and he's just like, oh, sit here and I tend to this plant all day long and everything, but all he sees is just this tiny little growth over here. So as far as he's concerned, he's doing a lot of work for nothing. But what he's not seeing is that underneath here, look at all those roots, look at all those seeds growing. Like there's just so much going on, but he's not able to see all that. So he's kind of maybe losing a little bit of faith and not realizing that all the work he's doing is going to eventually pay off. It may not feel like it is right now because it's very slow growing, but it is going to happen. So it's a little bit about here what's working against you, and as far as relationships are concerned, is there's a need to really kind of start off slowly and give as much of yourself as you are comfortable in doing, knowing that even though it may look like there's no return on that investment that you're making. Now I'm getting kind of financial, but it's the same thing. It's equally valuable. Your time and your money are equally as valuable, right? So yeah, this is definitely kind of asking you to really just know that if you're genuine, if you're willing to do the work, you can absolutely create a wonderful, wonderful opportunity with a person that's really solid, and it just takes time. So don't lose your patience, and don't give up thinking, oh, what's the point of this, and if this could also kind of point to maybe you're dating online and the people you're meeting are not exactly what you want, and you're starting to feel a little like, I don't see the point in all this time I'm spending connecting with people and talking to people and telling my story over and over again, and I still haven't met anybody. That's just what life is in general. Anything you want, you're going to have to probably most likely try many, many times before it's successful. And dating or finding a partner is really not very different from that. So there are a few lucky people who meet someone in high school, become best friends, and then eventually they end up together and they spend the rest of their lives together, right? But the rest of us, that's not the way it really works. It is a little bit of work we have to do, whether it's inner work or, just kind of working on our patience and knowing that when the timing is right, it will come. So just a little bit of advice there. So now this next card, I was really going to use it more as a advice card, and I can, but I also kind of feel, because sometimes I do hear some words when I'm doing tarot card readings, so I know just because of my intuition, I know that this card is more of a predictive one. So for this group, I would say if there is love that you want, it is coming to you. This is definitely, things can always change, and this may not be true for everyone in the group, but this is definitely a message of love coming for you. And it's going to be a new love. It's going to be, I don't want to say necessarily a soulmate, although it could be, absolutely could be. But I think this is more of the kind of love where you think at the moment now, where you are, where you stand right now, it feels like you'll never be able to have that perfect love for you. And this card here is letting you know that yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can create or manifest this love. So it's just really about kind of putting those loving vibes out into the universe, being very clear on what you want, and then staying hopeful. So even when you're doing a lot of work and you're not really seeing much success, sorry about that background noise if you can hear it, this card is definitely letting you know that love is coming your way. So in 2021, there's a very good chance that some of you in this group are going to find not just love, and it's going to really feel kind of like almost surreal. You're just going to meet this person, and not necessarily you'll click quickly, but you'll feel this person is really different from people you've met in the past. And it's going to feel like out of nowhere, because like you'll be struggling and wading through that whole dating pool, and then suddenly this person shows up and it's just so easy and so quick that you're almost not even going to believe it. So group one, this looks really, really good as far as relationships are concerned. So it looks like you already have lots of love flowing in your life. It looks like you're already getting clear or getting very ready to start acting. So, whatever that might mean, dating online or kind of putting it out there, doing some inner work so that you can kind of be in the right mindset when you meet people. And then just the only thing I would caution you on here, in regards to this card here with your challenge is just remaining patient. And even if you're not seeing, even if you're going on, let's say, 10 virtual dates, and 9 of them were really awful and 1 was just okay, keep going. Don't give up, because you don't see it happening, but there's definitely some stuff growing that's all working in your favor. So group 1, yay! Yes, it looks like it's going to be also, like I said, not just love, but a really beautiful, sweet romance. So congratulations, guys. That's best case scenario, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope this comes true for all of you who want it. And it is my pleasure to do this reading for you. So I will see you next week. All right, hello group 2. So if you picked the group of cards that had this nice pale yellow stone with it, then you are in the right place. This is for group 2, yellow stone, and this is the New Year, New Love question mark reading. So welcome. So we're going to take a look, as I already mentioned earlier in the intro, this reading is really for anybody. Anybody, regardless of whether you're in relationship or not, because even once you're in relationship, that's not the end goal, right? It's to be, there's always going to be ebbs and flows in a relationship, obviously, but overall, what we're aiming for is to maintain and grow together. So once you're finally with the person you feel you belong with, now the trick is to grow together. So that also has its own challenges, right? So that's why I believe that this reading is really really applicable to most relationships. Of course, nothing is for everyone, but I do think that this reading can also be used for someone who's already in a relationship and looking to improve it or grow together or whatever it might be. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look here. I'm going to grab this little pile of cards here because it works the other way around. All right, and the first thing we're going to take a look at, oh, this is good. This is actually a really good sign. So this card is in the reversed position, but it is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is, so now we're talking about kind of your mindset around love or around relationships, right? Either improving them or creating one, a new one. What we're looking at here is your mindset. And what I see here, how I interpret this card, is very much about someone who's you've kind of been really having a hard time finding someone, right? So you've been having a bit of a hard time finding someone that kind of meets your standards and that you feel comfortable with and who you're attracted to and so on and so forth, right? And if you're in relationship, then you've been having a hard time with something specific about the relationship that isn't really meeting your needs. So that's kind of where your mindset is right now, where you don't want to give up. You're not really planning to give up, but maybe the thoughts kind of crossed your mind once or twice, where you kind of think to yourself, like, really, do I belong in this relationship, or should I kind of just cut it off and kind of move on and see what happens, So I feel like that's the mindset where you are at right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's been helping you. So this is the Death card. And for those of you who do practice, tarot, or you know something about tarot, you know that the Death card is actually a pretty good card to get, I think, honestly. I've learned to really appreciate it in my readings when I get it. I used to just really get terrified, not because I thought I was going to die, but really just because the idea of something ending is always really scary. But I've gotten really good at just kind of getting comfortable with change. So this card, what's helping you out right now in your love life, let's say, I'm not really sure what to call it, but I'll just call it love life, in your love life, I feel like you have made some big transformations. So I don't know if maybe in the past you used to have certain patterns of behavior and you've worked on that to the point where now you're able to have healthier relationships or a healthier attitude around relationships. So I feel like there's been something that's kind of been almost kind of reborn in you when it comes to love and relationships in general. So maybe in the past you liked something a little more casual, and now you've decided that's not really what you want anymore, and now you want something a little more serious, or vice versa, right? We're not here to judge each other. We are simply here to be open to all of it, right? Because what works for one person may not work for another one. That's true for lifestyle and for everything else, in my opinion. But yeah, so I feel like in this group, some of you may have kind of gone through a sort of rebirth in regards to relationships. You know, you want something different, maybe completely different from what you've been doing in the past. And you have worked long and hard for it, and you're ready. You've done it. You've kind of met your own personal goals in this realm. So whatever it might be. You know, your goals around having healthier relationships or having more fun relationships or having an international relationship. You know, the list is endless, but it's totally, you'll know what this means, but I see this as a complete rebirth in probably your attitude or the actual kind of relationship that you want. So that's been helping you out during this time when you haven't actually been able to maybe find that person that you feel you've been searching for. All right, so now we're going to take a look at maybe what are the lessons that you've learned, or what are the challenges that have been imposed on you. And what I see here is here. So I think this is really cool, because what we have here is someone who's ready to almost give up, but decides that they're going to persevere and kind of stick it out. Then I see a rebirth as being something that's really helping you in regards to creating relationship or love in your life. And then we have a ace, right? So this is the Ace of Swords. And so now this is what's kind of like your challenge in regards to relationships. I think there's a tendency maybe to kind of overthink a little bit. So that might be maybe what you kind of decided to work on over here. But so this is just kind of giving you an overview. It's not necessarily advice or anything like that. So what I see here is the challenge of maybe not overthinking stuff, you know, and the benefit that it would be in your life or in your relationships if you stopped overthinking, stopped planning, stopped strategizing all the time, you know, like even in finding love, maybe you kind of have like a plan, right? So you're going to go on this site twice a week, and then you're going to go on this site twice a week, and then you're going to go out running, because I see that really cute person every single time I go over that way, and maybe one day I'll be able to meet them. You know, like just that strategy. There's nothing wrong with strategy, but I feel like in this group there may be some of you who maybe over-strategize or overthink things to the point where you make things harder for yourself. So yeah, so I would say that this is what your challenge is right now in regards to finding love. Like, just have a little more fun with it, right? You've become kind of this new person in regards to the way you handle love or relationships. Just enjoy it. You know, don't try to kind of control every single thing about anyone, including yourself, or any one thing, you know? So that's what I see there for that. So now with this last card, that's so funny. You know, this card, I created this spread, and I had decided that I was going to use the last card as more of like advice cards. But I just get a sense that this is more of maybe like a prediction, you know, like a conclusion or a prediction, in which case I would say that you've done a lot of work here. You've hung in there, and you've kind of become this person that you're proud to be now, with a new attitude or a new way of looking at things. And you are going to start working on the over-strategizing or the overthinking of relationships, or what you want them to be like, or what you want the person, like not nitpicking. That's probably the word I would probably use for this card here, like not nitpicking, kind of being a little more open to stuff. So with this card here, I see this more as a predictive card. So I would go ahead and say that, will there be new love for you in 2021? And I think the answer is yes, because this is the Ace of Pentacles, which is the opportunity for something new, right? The beginning of something new. See how beautiful the hands are. You know, they're tenderly holding this beautiful pentacle in place. It's just kind of like this, you know, you've been given this gift and you're just holding it almost with disbelief that you've got this. So I feel like it's going to be something that's really valuable and really precious to you. And I think that this is the way it's going to kind of grow organically, not to kind of ties in with the look of this card, that it's going to be a organic experience where it's going to be growing little by little, and you're going to be really, really careful with it, not to break it, you know, quote unquote, break it or damage it in any way. So I see this as like more of a prediction that yes, you will meet someone new, or if you are looking to improve your relationship in some way, I do see success in that. I see some success here with creating something new, and it seems like it's going to take a little bit of work, but it will be absolutely worth it. And you're actually, I also kind of see, because these two cards are together here, I also see a connection of you being able to also, because you've done all this work and kind of become this new version of yourself that you're so proud of, you'll also be able to kind of pat yourself on the back and say, wow, like when you're with this new person in your life, you're going to be kind of like, wow, I did this. You know, I worked really hard and I worked on myself. And you'll hear this all the time, especially in law of attraction circles, where people always say, you have to become the person you want to date, or you want to become the person that you want to end up with in relationship. And I kind of feel like that's exactly what will happen to some of you in this group, where you'll kind of look at this person and think to yourself, wow, I did this. Like, I have this amazing person in my life, and I did this. I attracted them, and I did it by working on myself first. So congratulations. This is a great reading. The conclusion is hopefully what you wanted. I think most of you who are in here want to know whether there's something new coming for you in 2021. And looking at this reading as things stand at the moment, for some of you, yes, I definitely see the potential for a beautiful new relationship that you almost kind of sculpted, with your mind. You kind of sculpted and created this beautiful union with another person that's really, really special to you. So congratulations, guys. All right, so group 2, that's your reading, and I hope that you like what you heard. I would be really happy if I had chosen this group, so let me know what you think. Again, please support, follow my channel, and you can, make sure to hit that bell button so that you can get the alerts whenever there's new readings. Share a comment, let me know what you picked, let me know what you thought of the reading. I welcome all of that feedback and support. And thank you. Yes, again, I want to thank you for all the support you have thrown my way. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. All right, hello, this is Pamela Belen again, and this reading is for my group 3. So again, new year, new love, question mark. This group here is the one who picked the blue stone. So if this is the stone that you chose, you are in the right place. And this would also be known as group 3. That might be when I do the timestamps. I'll probably put the numbers because it's just easier that way. But okay, so as I mentioned earlier, today we're going to take a look at whether you're in a current relationship that needs a little bit of help, or you're looking for someone new. This reading could be absolutely used for either scenario. So welcome, and let's see what the cards have to say to you in regards to love and relationships in 2021. So let us start here with your mindset. So your mindset right now around love, how are you feeling about love in your life at the moment? And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, as you can tell, is a very, very put together personality, very polished, very regal, very confident, and very earthy, right? So that's probably the main word I would use here. So how are you feeling about your love life at the moment is that you deserve the very best. And yes, you do. We all do, right? But this group knows it, or some of you in this group know it. You completely fully understand that you are quite the package and you have a lot to offer, and you're expecting the same in return. You don't want to have to settle for anybody. So there's kind of a vibe of having quite high expectations in this group. And as we go through with the reading, we'll find out if that's something that's working for you or if it's something that's working against you. But either way, the way you're feeling right now, you are just feeling yourself. You know your worth, and you want to make sure that you find someone who appreciates you the way that you deserve to be appreciated. So good for you. This group feels a little, maybe this group will be a little bit more mature and a little more confident, maybe a little more self-assured. You kind of know, it takes some time to really realize what a great person you are. And this is true for everyone. We tend to kind of cut ourselves down, but I think we all get to an age where eventually we're like, you know what? I may not be perfect, but I'm pretty damn amazing. So I think that comes in years, of experience and realizing that we all have a lot to offer and that we all do deserve the best. So good for you, Group 3, for already knowing that about yourself. All right, so that's your mindset when it comes to love, where you really want to kind of find a champion. You don't want to just end up with just anybody just for the sake of being with somebody. Or you don't want to be in a relationship where you feel like your needs are not being met. And of course, there's always going to be things that need improvement or things that are going to be lacking in some way. But when it's bad enough where you're kind of like, I'm really not happy in this, but it's better than being alone, I don't see that energy here in this group. I definitely see a little more of, this really isn't meeting my needs. I'm doing some injustice to myself as well as to the other person. Let's just kind of move on with our life. So now, what has been helping you so far this year in 2021 in regards to finding a relationship or improving a relationship that you're already in? And what I get here is another queen, so that's pretty cool. It kind of reinforces also the, not necessarily the age group. I kind of misspoke when I said that earlier. What I meant more was kind of like maturity level, right? It's not about just having fun. It's really about kind of creating something worthwhile or being involved in something worthwhile. So we're seeing the maturity here as well in the Queen of Wands. So this queen is also, they're both queens, which is awesome. And I think what's helping you out here, what I'm getting here with this queen, the second queen, the Queen of Wands, is what's helping you at the moment, whether you're in a relationship or not, is the fact that you're a very passionate person. So I feel like you might have a lot of hobbies you're passionate about, or maybe you have a lot of loves that you're passionate about. And you just know how to have a good time. You know how to be lighthearted and fun. And then you also know how to be serious and a little more, what's the word I want to use? Because it's not that this other queen is not serious or anything like that. It's just more about, she's a little more lighthearted and fun as opposed to this queen who's a little more reserved. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. She's just a little more reserved and a little more cautious and careful. So there's a good balance here, which is nice. That's really nice to see. So that's what's been helping you. What's been helping you is that you do have this balance. You are able to kind of have these high standards and be like, I'm not so sure that, this person that I met earlier today is really the right person for me. You went on a date and you're just kind of like, just something's missing there. You have the ability to kind of look at people that way, but then you also have the ability to like maybe stay friends with that person, and then who knows what could happen from there, right? So there's just kind of this fun side to you that people really, really love, and you really attract people because of that, because who doesn't want to be around a happy person, right? This is a happy, self-fulfilled person. This is someone who's really worked on themselves throughout their lifetimes and have been very, very successful just in everything that they do. There's always been some level of success that allows them to feel proud of themselves and happy and passionate, and they always follow their heart. So they're really genuine people as well. So this is an awesome card, Group 3. with this attitude, this lightness and seriousness, just kind of this balance of both energies is a great way to go through life. So that's awesome. All right, so when we look at the next card, what we're looking at here in the third card is going to be about what's maybe working against us. So when it comes to creating a relationship or finding a relationship with someone that we feel that we're a vibrational match to, right? So it's not like you feel like you're settling or that you may not be good enough or whatever. It just feels just right. So that's really what we're looking for, right? Someone who makes us feel comfortable and loved and supported and secure and all that good stuff. So most of us, not all of us, some people are looking for other things, and it's all good. Whatever it is you're looking for, your version of relationship. But in this third card, we're going to take a look at what might be challenging you in finding this kind of relationship or creating this kind of relationship. And what I see here is the Page of Swords. So now this is a youthful card. So not that, again, it doesn't have to do necessarily with age or gender. It really has to do more with energy, right? So the Queen of Pentacles has a very royal and very financially savvy and just kind of like a Earth Mother kind of energy, as opposed to, well, let's talk now about the Page of Swords, right? So the Page of Swords is, kind of more of a youthful energy, as you can see by all those light bulbs she's kind of carrying around, and she's walking on a tightrope, and she's reading a book, and she's doing so many different things. This is a very active, very cerebral person, and a very, I don't know if I just said that, but busy. Someone who has kind of a lot of stuff going on at the same time. So this might be somebody who has a lot of friends, maybe goes back to school to learn new stuff just because they enjoy learning. They're reading 3 books at the same time, and they still have time to have a full-time job, right? And maybe even start their business. There's just like all this energy and all these things happening for the Page of Swords. So when it comes to this relationship reading that I'm doing right now, I kind of feel like what's working against you is that maybe you're not overthinking necessarily, but this is more of a person, or the energy of this person is that there's just too much happening, right? So it's almost like you have no room to create this love or to create this relationship that you kind of dream of, like I feel like you're not going to settle in a relationship you don't feel isn't to your liking, but you also have to make a little bit of room for someone in your life, right? If someone's going to kind of come in and take up a little bit of space and take up a little bit of your energy, there needs to be space for them, right? It's kind of almost like trying to fit one more thing inside a closet that's got so much stuff it's ready to just implode, right? So that's what I see here. I see what might be working against you is maybe you just enjoy your own energy and your own self company. Is that the right way to put it? No. Well, yeah, I guess so. You enjoy your own company so much that you've almost forgotten to leave a little bit of room for another person. So this person's got so much going on. If you dare ask her one more thing to do, she'll probably take it on, but she probably will have to sleep 2 hours less every night. But she won't say no to it, right? Because she's just enjoying all these things that she's doing. So it's not that she's not enjoying it. It's not that you're not enjoying your life currently. But maybe you've got so much going on, or you've got, so many ideas going on in your head that you're not really making the room to kind of create those vibes. Because we do need to create those loving vibes. If we don't make time for it or space for it, not that it's impossible, because nothing's impossible, but it's harder to get somebody to kind of notice us, right? Because we're not noticing anybody else either. So we don't even notice someone's noticing us. So that's what I see here. I see kind of like you have such a rich and full life, and you have so many passions that you've just kind of, you're kind of good where you are. So this could potentially be a reading for, I feel like some of you are happy being single. Some of you are happy. You want the relationship, but at the same time, you kind of feel like you're just having so much fun, living the life that you're living and doing the things that you want to do and having the freedom that you have, that having a relationship is not really a priority You're not willing to really sacrifice to have a relationship, and that is great. Good for you. Maybe you didn't even realize you felt this way. You never realized that you are genuinely satisfied with your life, and that's awesome. I mean, that's the dream, right? That's what everyone hopes for, to feel that joy and happiness and love and have it all be genuine and have it all coming from within. Oh my gosh, that's like enlightenment right there. So some of you might feel this way. Some of you may not realize it. You may not realize that you haven't made the room for another person to come into your life and kind of join you, right? So this is just a little bit of a advice card, just letting you know that it's fine to follow your passions. It's fine to create a good life for yourself. But if what you want is relationship, you need to make some room for it. You got to give it some attention. You've got to give it some room. You've got to do a little bit of work, kind of put yourself out there and not be so into just the life that you have. Not that it's just a life, but you know what I mean. It's just like, if you want that single life, that's fine. But if you don't, then you have to make some sacrifices. And sometimes that looks like you maybe only going to yoga once a week instead of, 3 times a week. So there you go. So that's what I see here with that. That's what's potentially holding you back in regards to attracting relationship into your life. And then now that's so interesting because we have a king now joining us to kind of end the reading here, where we're looking at the King of Cups, which is the emotional and the loving and the, what's that called? Like spiritual, I guess. It's a very spiritual, open, very self-aware, very kind, very loving king. And this person is kind of ending the reading by saying, I kind of feel like you really need, in this group, I feel like you really need to get clear on what you want. Because once you do really decide, like, I want a relationship and I would love for it to look this way, this card here is all about manifestation. This man's got some serious power, right? Or this king has a huge, huge ability to create anything that he wants. So the first thing, though, in manifesting is getting clear on what you want. If you don't know what you want, how can you create it? How do you know you've achieved it, right? It has to look like something. So when you realize, or when you finally decide this is the way it would look like if I had this relationship, then you'll be able to create it because you'll be able to focus. So in this reading, in the other readings, I've gotten kind of like messages that are more on the predicting side. But here I see more of like an advice side. So what I see here is really go in and really decide, do you want a relationship? Maybe you want a different kind of relationship than you thought you did. Maybe all these years or your whole life you thought you wanted a certain kind of conventional relationship, but maybe you want something a little bit different. But once you get clear, and maybe you don't want any relationship, that's also possible too. So maybe you'll kind of do this reading and then be like, oh, well, look at that. Look at that. I really didn't want a relationship and I thought I did, or maybe I don't want it right now, or maybe after I do this, then I know that I'll be ready for this. It's just, I kind of feel like it's really more about reflecting, going inward, deciding what you really, really, really desire in a relationship and whether you desire a relationship at all. And then you can create it. And then you can come back and do this reading again and then see if you get a different answer this time, right? So, all right, group 3. So this is the reading that I got for you guys. And like I said, I'm just seeing what I see here, and obviously this might not be true for everyone who picks this group, but for most of you, I feel like there's really a sense of maturity where you've come to really appreciate your own company, your passions in life, and you really enjoy like that spiritual side of life, and you have such a rich and full life that it's almost like you don't even have the time really to kind of even think about a relationship right now, but you are being advised to, like, really do think about it. What is it that you want? What do you want it to look like? Do you want it at all? And then once you figure that out, then the rest of it is easy. It's really that figuring out what you really want part that kind of trips most of us up. Please think about subscribing, getting alerts, making comments, being active. I really love hearing feedback. It lets me know what I'm doing right and what can use some improvement. But if I get no feedback, I just kind of keep going and, you know, kind of blindly feeling my way around. But I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you next week.